The wise man does at once what the fool does finally, meaning the man of wisdom, intelligence, morality, character, virtue, cunning, and other qualities is always going to be able to do almost anything and everything in his life and also achieve, possess everything he wants, desires at once or in the first attempt, obviously because of his superior, greater, powerful intelligence, strength, character, morality, integrity, authenticity, cunning, and is able to almost think, say, do anything that he wants without fears, anxieties, without being fearful at all, because he does not fear the external authorities, but only his own powers and his own authenticity. So, obviously, the wise, intelligent, talented, experienced, and respected, sovereign, independent individual man knows that he has to live ultimately for himself and do everything else also for himself, even if it's at the expense of the others. He prioritizes his advantage, growth, progress, learning, and in doing so, he becomes invincible. And he also has so much experience in manipulation, exploitation of the other's weaknesses, needs, that he almost does everything all at once because he has that level of wisdom in both right and wrong and deceptive things. But again, the man of ignorance, arrogance, does almost nothing of greatness, significance, sovereignty, individual independence in his or their lives. The fool is not going to be able to do anything because he does not learn, he does not move forward, he does not make mistakes. And because he cannot fool the others, he cannot progress either. The fool ultimately does what the wise man has already done at once and achieved over and over again in his life. The fool achieves and does finally what the man of wisdom does at once, what the wise man does instantly, instantaneously, and repeatedly is something that can only be done at last by the fool or the man or people of ignorance, arrogance. So that's how this contradiction works, which is absolutely startling. But then again, there is a finger's difference between a wise man and a fool, between confidence, overconfidence, intelligence, over intelligence. There is absolutely little difference, and that's why most people fall into the trap of being overconfident, over intelligent, ignorant, and not really powerful, talented, authentic, sovereign at all. But obviously, they don't want to change their thinking because they want to dwell and persist in who they are, what they represent, what they think, say, do. They don't want to change, and they certainly cannot conquer society and their ambitions either in that way. So that's a fundamental paradox that can neither be solved